Thank you, gentlemen. I am joined by the coach of Evil Geniuses. If you could just give us a little window into the Soraka Tom. We've been seeing a lot of, or I'm sorry, the Sona Tom. We've been seeing a lot of Soraka and healing. Is that kind of to get healing on the map and have a strong bot lane?
Yeah, I think so. It's similar with the Soraka, but I think Sona should be much more stable, and also I think he has some CC, so I think it should be much better at mid-late game.
And is there anything now with this Sona Tom pick on the other side that scares you, that Fiora late game? Is there anything you told the players to watch out for?
Yeah, so I worried about just Fiora split push, but I think we have Tamken, so I think about just cover the death side first, and we can play out whatever we want.
Perfect, Irene. Thank you very much. Best of luck to the team. Back to you.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Basically what I talked about in draft, you do always have to be concerned when you're playing, 5v5 comp that doesn't have incredible siege about your opponents being able to have win conditions that aren't that 5v5, and that's why he's going to be worried about that Fiora and the threat that that can bring. And it's going to be a lot on Zeyzal to be able to actually answer those side lane plays and for Svenskeren to keep Haunter down in the early game so that he can't just completely run over Kumo in what is a good matchup.
Done. Golden Glue will proc Electrocute there. Zizuke now hitting level 2, trying to keep these minions away from his tower as he trades a bit of damage back with the ball. Junglers are now on the same side of the map. Looks like they both passed from right to left. So we'll see if maybe Kumo or Haunter gets an early visit at all.
You can also see that I think a lot of these players are expecting this to be more of a farm style game. Triple teleports across the map. People looking at relatively defensive lanes, playing more for priority to try to get advantages for their junglers through that rather than looking for straight up aggressive 2v2s or 1v1s. Golden Glue, Jizuke, both taking teleport, Bang and FBI both taking teleport here too. So both teams feeling relatively comfortable, I think, to scale towards the later stages of the game and just play around that.
So far, the early part of the laning phase has gone well for Haunter. Kumo will pick up a lot of farm here though.
Yeah, this is pretty much a no fun zone for Aatrox. It's a really tough matchup as we're going to see Svenskeren coming up for Golden Glue, but he's playing to the side that Closer is on, so this is good positioning from him, and we'll see if they are going to go. Closer's here.
Now they know. Oh, actually pushed them back. Good flash there from Golden Glue. The TP's come in. Closer going to look to try and shut this down, but no follow-up, and kind of a waste of cooldowns there from Haunter.
Yeah, I don't think the Q actually connected from Closer, so that was going to mean they probably would not have lethal damage. It is actually a trade of flashes, but it's a flash off Golden Glue, so Svenseren's going to be happy about how this gank worked out. Yeah, he's down his flash, but he got the mid laner's flash and the top laner's TP, so that is a very worthwhile play, but it's not the end of the world for Haunter because he did actually get his base, and because he had fully reset the wave, he really doesn't lose much off of this besides, maybe allowing Kumo to have an easier reset himself. So, most of this lane is going to be Kumo on the back foot. Aatrox does struggle in this matchup. Fiora can both poke you down utilizing the vitals, and also the on-lane becomes very difficult because Fiora can simply save the parry for your Q3. That sweet spot damage is very, very easy to parry, very telegraphed, and without that, it's incredibly difficult for the Aatrox to actually win those all-ins.
Oh no, Closer gonna lose it to Kumo.
Did not
have smite, it's a few seconds off. So Kumo gonna roam down and take that Scuttle Crab.
Yeah, that feels really bad. Not only is that a lot of experience, but it's also the gold lost there for Closer and the time spent to actually clear out that camp, so pretty frustrating. It gives away the fact that he is going to be up on the top side of the map, so they can expect that he would be over on Krugs now, and as a result, you're seeing Svenskeren move up to that side. He knows he needs to cover Kumo right now because Kumo has not actually bought yet, and if Lee Sin is up here, Kumo could be in a little bit of a dangerous spot.
Also, while we're tracking the 6 TPs in this game, both mid laners did TP back to lane, and Bang is also TP'd back to bot lane here as Haunter going to get pulled in, loses that trade to Kumo as he finds the skill shots and the sweet spots, but again, Fiora not too worried here. In fact, Haunter really not that interested in doing much other than farming. He's actually gone Cull second.
Yeah, and I think it speaks to what they're expecting the game to be, right? 6 teleports, you're going for an early call, you're looking to scale, you're looking to get advantages. Fiora can win early, but you're pretty much guaranteed to win late, so is looking to play around that. Haunter knows, though, he's in a dangerous spot. This is a lane pushing in. He wants to reset it, but Rek'Sai is actually tunneled behind him, and now he has no parry, so they should go.
Yep, there's the chain as well. Haunter gets out, but now he's
Svenskeren.
Gonna have to flash. Oh, flashes late, gets knocked up. Kumo flashes in, and first blood on the table. Knocked Blade over. Not enough sauce on that blade to take down Haunter.
Yeah, just barely not enough damage there. Remember, Kumo had not spent his gold, so missing the extra AD that he potentially could have had to secure that first blood. Either way, they're going to be able to push in the wave, So farm denied here from Haunter. Haunter has no teleport because it was spent mid lane, so he has to hoof it back up to the top lane, and is going to be set back as a result of this. But Golden Guardians making a quick play down on that bottom side. The investment of that top lane gank means Closer can take the time to actually grab this dragon and start stacking that up for the squad.
The next one will be Cloud as well, which is always fun. But I think the thing I like about it is that it means the soul will either be Ocean or Infernal, which at least for most people have been kind of the highly prized ones.
Yeah, I think those are the two that are the easiest to get immediate benefit from, right? You don't have to have any specific type of comp. People talk a lot about, well, Mountain Soul is great if you have tanks. Cloud is really great if you have someone who really needs that move speed, like, oh, you have Casimir, Singe, or Mort, or whatever. But when you have Infernal and when you have Ocean, they're just always good. Generically really, really strong. And, that is going to be a win condition for these two squads who are looking to play passively, are looking to scale. And you can see that through the item buys. It was an early tier purchased up here from Bang. He is looking to scale up, have enough mana to really become that essentially walking fountain later on in the game that Sona can be with a lot of stacks of mana. And Sona, especially in this new season, can sometimes do that even more, and he is actually playing Presence of Mind. So, not only are you getting the flat 500 mana once you have those 5 kills or assists stacked up, but anytime you are getting kills and assists in the fights, you're getting this massive injection of mana because it is a 20% return of your mana bar. You have a tremendous amount with the Seraphs, plus that 500 flat, plus your base. And, even Lichbane, you're getting more flat mana, so you can get ridiculous amounts of mana return to Sona in these team fights, and that's one of the things that makes it where you can just kind of have what feels like this infinite healing.
Always nice to have. The other note, of course, is that haven't seen Sona TK since last season, and that lane operated very differently. Of course, the support items have been changed again, so there isn't any CS sharing happening like there might have been. So Bang's CS number is his CS number. His support is not sharing with him. The FBI doing well on that front, but I don't really expect Sona to be a particularly robust 2v2 laner. But doing just fine as Golden Guardians have rotated up for this Rift Herald.
You mostly just don't want to get exploited, right? It's fine to be a bit down as far as the farm goes because you are looking heavily towards scaling with that early tier and you're just trying to play stable. But there is going to be a contest here. EG is moving over. Jizuke has...
Oh, what a flash shot! Finds 3! Closer! Low forced to flash out. FBI with the counter ulti, but just to try and keep them away, and EG take full control of the arena.
Oh, a great combo there from Bang and Jizuke, but not quite enough damage to actually take them out. And there's a nice little trade there from Haunter. You can catch the parry stun over onto Kumo. But he does know EG has control up on this top side of the map, so he has to be scared about a return gank here, about EG coming up in this side of the area, and it will be EG grabbing that Rift Herald. So they could actually drop this top lane, and with Haunter being put behind by the early gank, with the Bramble Vest rush here from Kumo, things can get a little bit more tricky, but it's now Keith roaming up to the top side, looking to try to get a little bit of safety for his top laner. You can see he runs straight up to top, and Keith actually ran all the way up there just to drop this pink right in that brush. So, giving additional protection for Haunter to make sure that what is this potential win condition for later on is farming, is getting experience, is really playing that safe, and it's a real bro move there from Keith.
He's been learning the role, helping out Haunter there, who certainly is expected to, I think, carry a lot of the mid to late game burden. Wanting to play the side lane on Fiora. Golden Glue currently in a 1v2, as Zeyzal and Bang have decided to occupy mid lane for a short while. But doing just fine, as mostly just farm being traded back and forth. Still almost 10 minutes in and no first blood. As you mentioned, with the 6 TPs, we're expecting more of a slower early game, and it certainly has been that. But the Cloud Drake will be spawning in 1 minute and 10. So we'll see if GG can stack that up once again.
Yeah, you can see it is likely going to be the Super Soaker build here from Jizuke. Already has that first component. Going to be working towards that. That's something that is getting very, very popular. The Hextech GLP, people just really like the control. Seeing it a lot on Orianna, especially alongside Phase Rush. This is airy, so it is more of that kind of little pokey and a little bit more utility later on with the additional shielding, but still the slowdown going to be very helpful. EG is going to want to have long team fights where you are actually getting the most out of the healing and the shielding and multiple rounds of those to kind of poke down your opponent, engage them, reset, look to heal back up, and then force fights around objectives. So I do think it makes a lot of sense kind of going for what is going to add more control here.
Looks like just the standard vision clearing being done by Golden Guardians here. Trying to make enough space to take this second Drake for themselves. It'll be up in a little under 20 seconds. FBI Zazel still doing battle over the wall thanks to that turret that Aphelios was able to place over.
My one concern about this build here from Kumo is that it's so incredibly defensive that, you know, when you go into the team fight, you're not going to have a lot of threat. You know, this is much more just kind of focused on surviving, and perhaps he feels that's all he needs to do. If he can just survive and hold the wave, that he's going to be successful. But when you're stacking this much armor against the Fiora, with an early Ravenous, you can actually just heal up off the minions, and, you know, so much true damage coming out of Fiora's kit that the armor becomes largely ineffective later on.
Pretty interesting here. EG actually dropped the Herald mid, and I assumed they wanted to use it to retake control of the Drake pit, but they're actually just committed to try and sieging.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to be happy just kind of getting some damage down on this. This Golden Glue may have to flash here.
Oh, good ult from Bang. That's going to be first blood.
That was terrible from Golden Glue. I think that was pretty obvious that he needed to flash. Bang just kind of walking up as easy as you like. Didn't even have to flash for the Sona ultimate. You get shockwaved in there. You got to use your summoner. You got to get out of there. As soon as Sona ult hits you, you're going to be absolutely dead, and he was.
Yeah, I think just maybe expecting to live, and clearly did not.
Yeah.
As Bang was able to nail him there with the crescendo, as the Ocean Rift does now take over. Haunter at least got some free time, so he's picking up gold and farm in the top lane, but the Drakes will be split as well. Watch this again. A great shockwave here from Jizuke.
Yeah, this was a great shockwave, but he has tons of time. And
yeah, he's
Bang
walking.
is clearly just walking straight towards you. Perhaps he thought, maybe I can hit him with Scatter of the Weak and save my flash, you know, save that summoner spell, but a Golden Glue just getting too greedy there and does get punished, gives up that first blood. You know, not only did the turret plate then go over to Jizuke, it is also that first blood gold, so, you know, getting this Orianna online, and Jizuke was a real difference maker for EG in their win last week on LeBlanc. He was taking over the game, so it's a guy that you have to be worried about getting that early lead.
He's up almost 800 gold individually in the 1v1, and actually POP has already been completed. Pretty cost-efficient item, but certainly a good spike early on for the Ori.
Yeah, he's going to be feeling really, really good about that. We have the Seraphs already bought up there from Bang. You know, he's going to be stacking up this Archangel, looking to transform it into the Seraphs, and Warriors through. So a lot of these major completions are already coming across for EG. They are a little bit ahead of the curve as far as that goes, but Haunter still going to be pretty happy about farming it out here on this top side. Because of some of this pressure from the jungle, because of the fact that he lost his flash and TP'd mid, he is down a bit on farm, but he has almost cashed out this call. Off of that, he will have the Ravenous buy, which is where you really can start to shrug off a lot of that Aatrox harass. And it'll just be a question of, can he play aggressively enough, and does he have the vision to actually allow himself to push into the turret and start to look to poke away at that turret? Or can they actually dive Kumo and then get onto that turret? Because Fiora kills turrets insanely fast.
Patch here onto Zazel, perhaps he will flash away. Keith still ready with the ulti, but no follow-up there from either side.
Yeah. A good little force of the summoners, though. They get the exhaust, they get that flash, and they don't want to overcommit too hard because of how effective EG can be in these long fights. If you don't have lethal damage, the Sona starts to heal you back up. Tahm Kench denies a lot of those kills. Jizuke was roaming up as well, so I think it was smart to play that patiently from Golden Guardians, and there is that Ravenous Hydra buy from Haunter, so yeah, I mean, if they can get him some alone time on the turrets, you really can crush them, because not only can you use the E auto attack reset, you can actually get the bonus damage from the E, the crits, onto the turret. That works. The Q allows you to actually hit the turrets with that now too, so you have so many ways to actually get ridiculous damage down that you can shred through those places very, very quickly.
Bang and Zazel continuing to play pretty far forward here. Bang clearly confident in his ability to pick people off with the Sona. As we've actually got the mid laners moved down to bot lane, as here's that free time we were talking about Haunter really wanted with the turret. There's actually still that bit of bonus gold on the table. No turrets have been taken out. Another good shockwave, but Jizuke was stunned this time around.
Yeah, still a good little trade. It's not that long cooldown, but they're going aggressive. Zazel has no sums.
Trying to force a fight. Ulti there from Bang, maybe a little early, but Keith actually going to be the target. I think they've got enough to take him out. He will go into stasis. Ulti from FBI, not enough, but Keith able to flash out of the way. Kumo has TP'd in, but Keith is going to go down. Golden Glue, Scatter the Weak, doesn't get it down, and Ulti will shut down Sven.
This is actually really good for Golden Guardians because Haunter didn't join. He just takes that turret for free on the top side. That is first turret, solo gold on the Haunter in what was a 1-for-1 trade in that mid lane. Yeah, Keith goes down, but you kill off the jungler, you get more gold on the Fiora, you now have teleport and flash advantage on your top laner who's your win condition, so Golden Guardians very, very happy about this play. They knew that there was no summoners on Zazel, they knew there was no teleport on Jizuke, so they had the confidence to go for it.
Also gives him control of the second Rift Herald. So it'll be Golden Guardians splitting this objective as they do take it down. And with that first turret going over, thanks to the sequence of play that just happened, you have to think they'll be able to get one extra turret with that Herald to watch this one again.
Yeah, here it is one more time. Hook onto Zeyzal. Early stopwatch to buy time. Bang does drop his ultimate, but it is just defensively on the Nautilus. And Keith utilizing his stopwatch as well as the flash to kind of back out of there. Keith does go down, but Golden Glue just lights up Svenskeren. And this is one of those punishing things. When you are so many levels down as a jungler, there's an incredible amount of gold and power in each level. It's just the base stats that you gain, right? You're missing thousands of gold of stats for being down those 3 levels. And the level 2 ultimate from Syndra means Svenskeren is just going to get erased, and they come out on top in that play.
More than enough for that kill there as they do trade. But the Rift Herald still in the inventory of Closer, who's looking to drop that somewhere, maybe bot lane. Although mid is always a priority for teams.
Yeah, so EG now going to try to actually force Golden Guardians to fight them at this dragon. They're going to say, you need to come to us or we're going to stack a soul up, and you're going to lose that way. But the side lanes are already pushing, and EG is really slow to actually pull the trigger on this play. You can see top lane already shoved in, bot lane pushing in, you know, and it's going to be Kumo having to respond. Now because of this, I was kind of wasted the parry a little bit there. Did get the stun, but you know, because of this, you have teleport advantage on Haunter, and now EG may lose priority.
Very sneaky. They land on Jizuke. That's a clean kill for Closer. Kicks away Sven to make sure he lives. Forced to flash. I imagine Safeguard was not back up. But again, they get another TP and get a kill.
Yeah, new Bang had ultimate too, so he did want to get out of there. If you get ulted up, you will go down, just as happened to Golden Glue early on. But a great play here from the jungle mid.
Oh, the hook does buff
Nice
it
buffer.
through. Still getting chased down though. This looks like lights out. Svenskeren able to pick up Keith.
Still, Rifttail dropped on bot side. That's the tier 1 going down. If you push one more wave as Golden Glue, which he should do, they have vision on basically everyone around that mid lane. Now this can threaten a lot of damage on the tier 2. You still have teleport advantage on your top laner Haunter. So, you know, this is what Golden Guardians want to do. They want to spread the map. They want to force EG into tough decisions. EG just wants to group up 5v5 and say, come at me, bro. Fight me at this dragon. But Golden Guardians is forcing them to respond.
I think Jizuke will be there in time, but Haunter and Kumo still duking it out. Time control is ready. Haunter, though, kind of losing the 1v1 already. Chain is out. Here comes the Abyssal Voyage. Haunter procs his ultimate. He's got to get away. A decent parry. Does have his flash, but getting chased down, slowed by the empowered auto by Bang, and that'll be a well-deserved kill for the Sona.
Yeah, really nice response there from Zeyzal and Bang coming in, utilizing that empowered power cord with the E, slowing him down so Haunter could not get out. Haunter was unable to actually land an effective parry, and he had no minions to heal off. Keith hooks in, and he's just going to probably die.
Oh, Golden Glue just demolishes Svenskeren. Shockwave catches Closer, but that's not bad. Bang the next one, but he does get devoured. Golden Glue in the front lines. No flash. He's got to get away. He gets exhausted. Good scatter of the week to keep
Kumo's
himself
coming.
safe, but
They
they
gotta
still
run.
want to keep chasing. That's a great flash ult from Bang. Finds 2. That's 1 dead. Keith's going to be the next target. See you later, Nautilus. As Kumo even gets the knockup, FBI, no flash, gonna have to run, gets out from under the chain, gets the root as well, and they will survive, but these two teams just fighting blow for blow.
Yeah, they're going right at it, back and forth, but you can see how EG starts to really control the fight in the extended play, right? You know, the longer this goes, the better it looks, and Keith going in here, looked like it was going to be a one-way trip, just go down immediately. They spend a lot of their burst to take down Svenskeren. The shockwave largely avoided by Golden Guardians, which gives them the confidence to go in. But remember, a lot of your cooldowns are down. The ultimate from Golden Glue actually got denied by the Devour from Zeyzal. Then EG says, all right, you no longer have lethal damage. If you cannot burst someone 100 to 0, you will not kill them through the shielding and healing of Sona, as well as the shielding of the Orianna and the protection of that Tahm Kench. So Golden Guardians just biting off more than they could chew there. You gotta be really aware of how much damage you have left in the tank. Can you 100 to 0 someone? If you cannot, you need to disengage from that fight and play it slow.
Man, it's too low here. In a 4v3, Golden Guardians cannot defend. So they will lose that turret, and maybe the Drake soon after as well.
Yep.
EG goes to the area pretty easily, and in fact, Golden Guardians will just give it up. So that is going to be the second Drake, the first of the Soul Drakes here, as that Ocean will go down. Still a little while to go. That's kind of what happens when you split the first few Drakes. There's not as much pressure unless the game drags on a little bit longer.
Yeah, I mean, they split back and forth on those first two, and then that third was delayed a long time. So it's going to be some time, and you know, Kumo has held up very well in this side lane. Their Tahm Kench response was great on that earlier kill to take down Haunter and punish him. and it looked like Kumo was just straight up winning that 1v1 anyway. You know, the straight 100 to 0 all in is difficult at this point, because when you're hitting that Bramble Vest, it's reducing so much of your healing, right? You more have to kind of wear down the Aatrox and heal up off the minions utilizing the Ravenous Hydra, you know, until you have more items coming through, you know, until you have the Triforce and maybe even an item on top of that where you can just kind of shrug off a lot of that Aatrox damage.
Monster has about 1,200 gold to go and spend and is recalling, so
We'll have Triforce
I think
then.
we'll have enough.
Yep.
See if that does change the texture of the matchup at all, but still looking pretty comfortable in the side lanes
Yeah.
here. Doesn't seem like time to panic, certainly on either side, but Golden Guardians at least maneuvering themselves into a position where they want Haunter to be. Gold, regardless, so still staying close. It is really all those turrets. That's the big lead here for Golden Guardians, but the total gold lead is actually only 1,000 between the two teams.
Yeah, I mean, that's what those extra kills will do for you, right? You know, those were very big for EG, and you can see that Bang as well as Jizuke scaling up very, very well. That Archangels has transformed into the Seraph, so the shielding is now there. Additionally, for Bang, makes it harder to take him down. Jizuke on 2 big items, and you know, it's not time to panic for either side, but for Golden Guardians, they have to be worried about the Ocean Soul. The Ocean Soul, on top of all the healing and kind of shielding and defensive abilities that EG has, will probably make them unassailable. So, you know, they have a while, but this 3rd dragon coming up in 3 minutes, it starts to get pretty scary if you give over 3 dragons, because then one pick, one missed 50-50 means you give over soul and you probably lose the game. So Golden Guardians have got to get themselves in the best possible position to either delay this potential dragon or get a pick and then take it themselves.
I think we are going to see a lot of this map positioning, though. Looks like Golden Blue is being told to go off and catch waves as they push the other side lane. Haunter is perma in the side lane here. He's actually going to try his hand at a 1v1 on Kumo. 1 level down. Decent parry. Keeps moving forward. Has not committed the ulti just yet. And Aatrox with his ultimate cooking. Too much right now for Haunter. As you've mentioned, more poking him down at this point as Bang finally finds an airball. Oh, it goes through the shockwave key. Little too far forward. He's going to pop the stone plate, and FBI is going to blow up the rack side. Bang kicked in. That's the devour though for Zeyzal. He's going to save Bang, but Keith right there with a hook ready to go. Bang getting low for Jizuke. Just too powerful. Finally, Golden Blue's able to find the 2nd kill.
And they're going to head to Baron off this. This is Bang down. That's Svenskeren down. They are pinging onto it, running over to this area. We'll see if they can catch it, and without Sona or Rek'Sai, this becomes very, very difficult, but I don't think they can actually commit to it. The res timers are too short, so Golden Guardians will just get some vision off it. They will get a little bit of kill toll, but that was a well-played fight from them, and did cost a fair number of resources, did cost the flash off the support and their jungler, which is a lot of their playmaking ability.
I think the big one for me, though, is Haunter's TP. You know, he TP'd into that fight to try and maybe win it a bit harder. Going to be a little bit trickier for him to really pressure the sideline, especially given how long bot lane is.
Yeah, he may have to play topside now with Baron up and allow Golden Glue utilizing that TP to play on the bottom side. But let's watch this one more time. A lot of it is about the scatter.
Ooh.
So the scatter actually came down. Bang had buffered his ultimate, so what happened there is Bang presses ult as he's in range, but during the animation of Bang's ultimate, he is actually knocked backwards by Golden Glue, pushing him out of range. So that is what Golden Glue, I think, was actually going for on that turret dive, where it kind of looks silly. But then we saw Closer come in with the kick flash, very nicely done to pull him back towards Keith, who could then follow up and kind of train down Bang. But even there, we saw how close EG was to actually surviving and stabilizing in that fight, where they could start to heal up and turn around.
EG have also just committed to running 5 in the other lane. They're ignoring Haunter for now. They're going to take down this mid-tier 2. In fact, the only 2 towers they've taken so far have been both in mid lane.
Yeah, but I don't think Haunter has enough time, right? You know, he's not actually going to be able to get to that turret. So all he really did was push up the wave a little bit. They trade their tier 2 for that. But Haunter is going to have to be able to get into a position where he can actually start to win this 1v1, where he can start to really pressure towers, and he's not there yet. Great shockwave on Keith.
Yep, over the wall. Ulti out from Aphelios. Does get a big stun there, and that's going to be a kill against Svenskeren, eating every Syndra ultimate. But Kumo's here, going to try and turn the tide of the fight. Haunter, though, has made it in.
This is great. That's a big pick for Golden Guardians. Keith may want to reset, but the dragon is just about to spawn, so I think they're just going to run straight over and try to take it. Jizuke critically is fairly low on mana. Kumo has no ultimate, so Golden Guardians should be able to take this dragon, and that means it extends the clock so much on their split push game plan on avoiding EG's 5v5 and really being able to spread out the map, because that is another 5 minutes now that EG will have to wait for even the potential of taking a Dragon Soul. We're sitting at 2-2 at this point, and that clock is always ticking on Fiora. It's kind of scaling in the background here.
2,000 gold up now for Golden Guardians, and I do like that EG seem to be very aware of the situation. And I mean, they have the Tumken shot, which I think is why Hauntzer didn't extend too far down after they dipped out of mid from taking the tower. But also just EG are very confidently saying, okay, just everyone get in the lane and start pushing, because you have to give Fiora the least amount of time possible to kill your base.
Yeah, and I mean, we're seeing Svenskeren really get picked on here. You know, you are going
What are you
that
gonna do?
standard damage build as Rek'Sai, and he's so damn squishy. Tahm Kench is not really positioned with him because he's, you know, really focusing on defending the main carries, the Sona, the Orianna. So anytime Sven gets hooked, if Zeyzal's not there to devour him immediately, he basically just dies to Golden Glue. And
Yep.
Golden Glue and Keith are actually comboing up very well alongside FBI for the follow-up damage to really burst down Svenskeren time and time again. And we are seeing Golden Glue now, you know, out to a really strong set of items. He's sitting on Death Cap, Ludens, plus double Spell Pen. This is incredibly efficient, amping all the spell damage that he already has, and it does mean Syndra can hit that lethal damage with her combo very easily.
It does feel like Svenskeren's chance of survival is just dropping to negative every single fight. Jizuke, though, does get a top lane outer turret, so a bit of counter pushing there on a side lane for EG this time around, but now it's Golden Guardians that are pressuring the tower. 4v4, actually 4v3 as Svenskeren is going to roam back in.
Hauntzer looking to pressure the base as well. You know, he's all the way up here. If too many people respond, we can see EG continue to pressure, get pressured rather in that mid lane. But with the minions dead, Golden Guardian is going to have to play it safe, going to back off, and just continuing to try to establish more vision here. You can see just how important, you know, mid lane priority has been for these two teams, trying to get the shove, trying to clear out any wards. You know how badly Golden Guardians are really trying to avoid any potential TP flank when, you know, look at all these pinks in this area, right? This is actually to clear out any deep vision from the opposing team to try to stop any potential TP flanks coming through. You know, everything really is about, it feels like, trying to avoid the 5v5, trying to deny vision and control this mid lane.
And not that they really needed to, but of note, Hauntzer has just been sticking in the one lane here in bottom. His TP will be up well before Kumo's is. Bang, though, looks for the flash ulti and does miss. Hook now going to land in onto Zeyzal, who has used the Devour. But this time, Hauntzer, again, doesn't have his TP, is willing to stay in bot lane. EG need to find something. They will maybe catch Keith, but the kickback in onto Kumo is going to grab the shutdown. And now it's a 4v4 with Hauntzer in the bot lane.
All they have to do is buy time. They just need to stop EG from getting back to the base, and Hauntzer will take the inhibitor, so they just need to push this up, harass EG on any potential recalls. Don't commit to anything. You do not need to fight, so it is going to be the retreating Tahm Kench ultimate trying to get back to the base, but I think it may be too late. He could potentially commit to this. We'll back off and play it safe for now, though.
So shoving down mid. Jizuke going to get follow flashed on Keith, looking for it. No ulti, though. And the GOP will keep him alive. Good shockwave back. The stone plate will keep Keith alive, but only barely, as Hauntzer does finish off the inhib.
Yeah, that is such a big turn of events for Golden Guardians. Being able to get that kick. Again, closer. Really nice kick back onto the Aatrox, and now they're on the Baron. And guess what? There's still the threat of this Fiora on the bottom side. Fiora is on vision, but has teleport. Golden Guardians are going to be able to get this Baron. There's no way that EG can even contest at this point, and Golden Guardians are playing a fantastic game.
Yep, no vision here. They do have a wall, but they'd have to blind TP for the Baron, which doesn't really sound like a very attractive option. No Tahm Kench shot was already used, and with Hauntzer having too much pressure, it is a nice run of objectives for Golden Guardians. Pick into Inhibitor, into mid tower, into Baron.
I'm really hoping we're going to get to see a replay on that Miss Sona ultimate. You know, it kind of looked like Bang didn't get the full distance on his flash before the ultimate went off. I'm not positive about that, so I would like to be able to rewatch that one more time. We'll see if we'll get that replay, but you know, Golden Guardians now on the Baron power play here. Lots are going for actually a fairly defensive build. It's actually building towards a Spirit Visage as that third item. That is pretty interesting here. So I think he's feeling like he may have to actually commit to a fight. You know, look for that 5v5 to actually close out the game, and maybe feels they're going to be in a spot to do it. There is a lot of magic damage coming out from the Sona plus the Orianna, so that would make some sense there. But for now, they have pressure on that bottom side. They have the Baron buff, and let's watch this one more time. So did Bang actually get full distance? He is going to actually look for it. We'll just kind of watch. Yeah, so he did, but that was actually just pretty far away. You know, was pretty optimistic. Maybe could have tagged someone on the very edge of that, but that does sometimes speak to one of the things that we talked about last year when they just kind of came into the bot lane, is that sometimes you saw that players weren't fully comfortable, didn't know those ranges as well as they would on the standard marksman champions, because if they put thousands and thousands of games in on your Caitlyn's and your Zayas and whatever, how many games does he really have played on Sona? Probably not that many.
Certainly not. And certainly his earlier ults did look better, but that was always going to be a very difficult ult to hit for the most experienced of Sona players.
And it's a costly one.
Yeah, and it kind of feels like EG getting desperate when maybe they didn't need to. I mean, now they're behind a Baron, their inhibs are down in bot, they have super minions crashing everywhere. Like, now this looks bad, 5k down, but before that, EG were playing a fairly controlled game, just letting the Sona scale up and answering the map movements nicely, but Golden Guardians just broken it open off that one little misstep.
Yeah, I mean, they were in a pretty good spot, but you could feel that maybe they're a little bit too worried about the Fiora, right? And Fiora taking over this game, but it's going to be engaged on this top side.
Keith again, into Stone Plate he goes, fairly tanky. Good ult there, finds a triple root for FBI. But I think Keith's gone here. Yep, Kumo going to get the finish off. Haunter in the meantime playing PvE.
Yeah, I mean, he knocks down that turret. It is going to be that flank here from Zeyzal, but he's by himself.
Got ulted as well by the Rek'Sai.
I don't think you win this.
He's going for it. This wants the kill spend. Garen gets exhausted. 1v3 goes Haunter. As the rest of your team tries to fend it off. Make it a 1v4. Haunter flashes out of there. And Golden Guardian's going to finish up the top in him.
Yeah, when I see Sven ulting in on Haunter, the level 12 Rek'Sai diving on this level 17 Fiora, it's not the fight you want, and when no one came in the belly of Zeyzal there, they just weren't going to have enough damage to actually kill off that Fiora, so well played by Haunter to actually force them back, survive, buy time for another inhibitor take, and another dragon going to be grounded up here by Golden Guardians. They just feel like they are in full control, and it's funny to look at the scoreline. You know, when you talk about this game, it feels like Haunter has had a really big impact, and the Fiora is really kind of dictating, I think, a lot of how EG is playing this game. Haunter's 0-1 and 0, right? You know, it's not like the scoreline is really showing you the impact that it has had, but it's been a lot about this pick, and I think it was an intelligent one. You know, anytime you see these Sona-type comps, these kind of solo lane or really kind of gold-heavy Sona picks, you don't want a 5v5, and I think Golden Guardians have done a great job of finding ways to avoid it and finding ways to take fights on their terms. Yep,
certainly seems like this is a strategy they're comfortable with. As the other side of the 1-4, the 4 have been playing well also.
Yep, very
but, we are going to have to converge in mid lane at this point because there's one more inhib to try and take out. The third Drake also went over. Haunter actually continued his run there and just decided to solo that one.
Yeah, really all Golden Guardians need to do is wait for the supers to actually push in on these other sides, right? And a lot of it is actually just about the super minions coming in on the bottom side, which you can actually see them pinging down into. You know, it's about this, it's about these waves up here, because once those arrive in the base, EG is going to have to send members to clear those out or risk losing what is their last Nexus turret. And once that happens, then the rest of Golden Guardians closes in and takes the triple and hit.
I think EG know that they need to find something sooner rather than later, so they will use that Sona speed to try and force a fight. But again, Golden Guardians know they just have to be patient. Bottom inhib does respawn, but there's still 2 super minions there for them to deal with.
But now they walk in, right? You know, you see Rek'Sai on that bottom, you walk forward, Rek'Sai walks up towards you, you walk back, let the minions do their work. So they are trying to slowly choke them out of this game, but EG is doing a pretty good job of hanging on thus far. You know, they have not lost any damage on this mid lane inhib. The bot lane inhib has respawned, so they're really kind of just staying in it.
And looks like they won't need to rush forward right now. There is Baron to play for in a minute's time, so looks like it's time to recall and reset. Move their vision back around this top half of the map. FBI will take down the Scuttle. Cobra's going to donate it to Closer. That's very polite. Well, no one's going to get it.
Oh, I wonder if they're trying to actually hold on and kill it a little bit later, closer to when the Baron's going to be up. Because I think they may want to have that active. So they were just allowing it to reset. I do believe that may have been intentional. Give her the gold to FBI and really just delay so that it's up for a longer period of time while the Baron is active.
I mean, they're not in a rush, right? The super minion's still streaming into EG's base. Haunter is still a nuisance with his teleport ready in this bottom lane. It's actually stealing the enemy red buff as we speak. So Evil Genius is going to have to find something around this next Baron.
Yeah, but I mean, it's all about the force, and really they don't have a great comp at forcing, right? This is one of the struggles we've seen from a lot of teams in the LCS this split, is when you draft these types of compositions, you're somewhat dependent upon being in a position of control where you're the one forcing at the objective and they have to come to you. When they don't, you either have to do some sort of flank with the Tahm Kench ultimate, or you have to look for a flash Sona ultimate, which puts you in a very vulnerable spot. And Golden Guardians have played very well around that. They have allowed Fiora to get space to do her work on this bottom side. And as a result, they're in great control.
And Haunter now feeling like he can take this 1v1 a little bit more aggressively. TK will bring Bang in as well, so Haunter's actually in a 1v3 again, but he's a little low this time around. Will get shut down, but that is going to mean Baron for Golden Guardians.
Yeah, the whole squad comes back and does take him out. We'll see if they can get there in time. I think there's no chance.
Yeah, all right.
I mean, they're just going to go mid lane. They don't even know, right? You have no vision in that whole area, so trying to go over there blind is really, really risky. So, Golden Guardians trade the top laner. They do get the Baron. Nice trade for them, unless EG can really make something happen. Well, they're +1 members on the map, and they are going to try to really get the most of this. Remember, this is Lichbane Deathcap Sona. Look at the damage on the tower. You are going to be able to shred through this very, very quickly. So the inhib tower is gone. If they can get an inhib here, or perhaps even more, that does mean a lot.
Yeah, they are going to get the inhib. Golden Blue was actually looking for a pick with a flank instead of clearing the waves.
Yeah, and Kumo down to that bot side. They should get that outer tower also. So, you know, EG getting a lot of gold back off of that. They get the kill on Haunter. They do get mid lane turret as well as inhibitor. They get the bot lane tier 1. So it was a good move. You have to be decisive, right? If you actually get into this position where you're in decision paralysis, you will kind of lose on both sides of these types of comps. So we'll see where they're going to go with it next. And, you know, as far as Haunter goes, the Spirit Visage makes a little bit of sense if you want to go for that 5v5. But as far as the pure 1v1, it really doesn't help you much at all versus Kumo, right? You know, like, if you had gone Death Dance or something, your 1v1 is way better. Same thing with Bloodthirster, or even, you know, some sort of Last Whisper type item to complete that. But because he has gone for this, he is going to be weaker in the 1v1 as a result.
A little awkward on timing, though, as Golden Guardians will start
This
again.
is Soul,
this is the Ocean Soul, Drake. EG are going to have to challenge. The reset was a little awkward. Sven, though, might just go ahead and take it. Does get it. 3 apiece now as Closer got to get up. A Bang and find the ulti on the one, but Closer, beautiful stopwatch as Keith's found the flank. But I think he's maybe not wanting to flank there. Just going to get CC'd down in the stone plate. He goes to Jizuke, zoning them out with the ball as Keith will flash, but still fall.
This could be game. They could actually run it down mid and look to end this now. They steal away, smite away that Ocean Soul. Svenskeren down 2 levels against the Lee Sin. He's the one who lands the smite, and EG are looking to end this.
Yep, Zeyzal put the Soup Highway straight down mid lane, and EG are at least going to pressure here. 4v4 as Haunter returns. But EG still have it. Gonna look for the shockwave. They're fighting onto FBI. Closer looking for the kick. Just gonna shut down onto Jizuke. Closer somehow picks him out of the crowd. Svenskeren low is gonna fall, and Golden Guardians still stay in this game.
Yeah, now it's turning around. They can TP for this. Both the Soul laners have TP. The bot lane are gonna TP as well.
Oh, wait, they're still going. Closer gets shot down. No, EG are gonna keep chasing. We're gonna base race on our hands.
Oh, EG could actually win this potentially. They still have the Lichbane damage here. This is turning really, really crazy.
Only one Nexus tower. I don't know where the wave is, though.
Aphelios is
over.
going.
Haunter dead. Keith gonna have to buy time. FBI, he's the one that has to win for the team. TP back in. It's gonna be cancelled. FBI, open Nexus. What a dramatic finish, but Golden Guardians will pick up their first LCS.